Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Support and our first live broadcast trying to raise funds. And today we're trying to raise funds for this incredible town called Whittier in Alaska. I'm not going to go on about everything. I'm going to introduce everyone very, very quickly. So next to me, to my left, we have Kelly. Kelly is in Whittier and Kelly runs the Lazy Otter Charters and Cafe. Hi, Kelly.
Good morning, or good afternoon.
Yeah, it's
good evening somewhere.
It's good evening for me. And
Hello.
Also in Alaska, your neighbor in Anchorage, we have the wonderful Lady. Hi, Lady.
Hello.
And right underneath me, we have a wonderful Melissa from the UK from Cruise Shop Save. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Pete. Hi, everyone. How are you?
We're good. And I have my fellow Cruise Amigos. We have John and we have Chili. Hi, John. Hi, Chili.
Hey, John,
Okay.
you look lovely with a cat wrapped around your neck.
This is Ace, and he came through my sleeve.
Oh, Ace. The cat's called Ace.
An ace of your
And we
sleeve.
have our wonderful cat as well, which is great, yeah? So just to explain, as I said, this is our first proper fundraiser, and we're going to talk about Whittier in Alaska. And what I would say is, Kelly, welcome to the show. Yeah. If anybody wants to donate, it's really easy. You purely go to Support website. It's really quick to do. Or you go to, and please like our page as well. Kelly, you're in Whittier at the moment. Now, you are in here. Now, if you don't know, by the way, Whittier has round about 300 residents, I think, and the vast majority of the residents live here. Yeah.
Right.
Kelly, please tell us about your wonderful town.
Well, Whittier, we even say that we are unique even by Alaska standards. So we are a very small community of about 300 people. In the summer, it explodes to about 800 to 1,000, and those are all people that work in the industry, so that run their charter businesses or the restaurants or the shops, or support the cruise ships or the railroad. Just to tell you a quick little history of the town, because it is very unique. It actually started as a port for the war. So it started by the military, and they connected Whittier with a tunnel, a 2.5-mile tunnel, to get supplies to the interior of Alaska for the war effort. So the big building that Pete showed you was Baggage Towers, and that's where 90% of the population of Whittier lives. And that was officers' quarters during while the military was here. The military left here in 1960, and then until 2000, the only way to get to Whittier was by train. And you would load your car onto the flatbed of a train and come through 2 tunnels and then drive your car off the train. But in 2000, they widened the tunnel and ventilated the tunnel, paved it, put some big propellers to push air, put some safe houses, and now you can drive to Whittier. We access Whittier on the half hour. You come into Whittier on the half hour and out on the hour. So it is a one-way tunnel that we share with the railroad. So it's very interesting, but great fun to make that drive. And then once you come into Whittier, we're a pretty small town. Like I said, we have all of our shops and restaurants are located right on the harbor. We normally get 2 ships a week. 4 of the Princess ships call here. And in 2021, we are meant to get a Holland America ship. So 2 Holland America ships. So we're waiting to see on that, and being hopeful, of course.
And this is your wonderful, the Lazy Otter Cafe. This is the cafe that you run, yes?
Right. That's our charter office and our cafe. And so we do have some apartments in the Baggage Towers for our staff. But my husband and my family and we live above our little cafe there, right on the harbor.
And what I'd like, one more question. Can you please tell us, I mean, everybody has been affected. This is why we're doing the show. We're trying to help all these wonderful people in the ports. How has Whittier been affected by what's happened with COVID and the lack of cruise ships, Kelly?
Sure, absolutely. Whittier's a little bit different than the ports in Southeast Alaska, where everybody comes and it's a port of call, and all the shops and restaurants and businesses rely completely on the cruise ships. We're a little bit different in that we are a debarkation port. And so everybody comes in the morning and they get off, and then the new passengers come in the afternoon. And certainly we do see some of those passengers in normal times get off the ships, do charter fishing and our custom sightseeing, but really we see a lot of the crew get off. They have the evening off when they arrive, they have the afternoons off, they come off, they come sit in our little cafe and have a coffee and just get away from the ship, have a little mental break, answer some emails. One of their favorite places is to go to the Chinese restaurant and just have some downtime from the ship. So we really missed seeing the staff this year. Our community also are longshoremen that take care of the ship with the debarkation and the luggage, and all of those longshoremen work Whittier and Seward, and so they actually had absolutely no work this year between Whittier and Seward with no ships. So we know that all of our businesses experienced at least 50% down this year. The other big mark that the cruise ships have on our community is, of course, the goods and services they buy from our city. So water and fuel and the taxes that are paid on that. And then, of course, every port gets a transportation tax. And that money, it's a per head tax that goes to our community. That supports our public works, and it supports our public safety. We have to, of course, have more EMTs and more police because of the cruise ships are in town, and then that, of course, helps cover those expenses. So that is a very big impact on our community, on our city, to not have that money for those services.
Before I bring the rest of the gang in, I just want to explain that for people who are watching, that also next year with cruising resuming, the crew members that do come into your town probably won't be allowed off the ship. And just to let you know, everybody, that there are two ways that we're trying to help. With Whittier in Alaska. Is the first one is obviously in this building here there are 60 kids. You have 60 kids who live in Whittier. We're hoping that we can do something for the community that's been so hit before Christmas. That would be a wonderful thing. And the second one is you have a food bank. Please tell us about the food bank, because we want to obviously try to raise funds to donate for the food bank as well. And then I'll bring the rest of the gang in, please. Kelly.
Yeah, absolutely. We have 60 kids pre-K through 12 in the school here behind our building. And we do have a food bank that supports quite a few families throughout the year in Whittier.
Right, so that's how you can help. So if you can, please donate at supportsupport.com. The funds are going to go to the kids for Christmas, hopefully, and to the food bank. I'm going to bring Lady in first of all. Lady, you're a neighbour. Hi, Lady. Please explain to everybody how everybody can get into Whittier and about Whittier as well, because you've been visiting there with your mother.
I have. So a lot of times when you look on cruises to see, okay, where you're taking your cruise from, it'll say Anchorage. And although it says Anchorage, that's where I live, but it's actually Whittier that you're going to. So you might fly into Anchorage and then take the tunnel like she was explaining. And to be honest, it's a very fun experience. This summer, my mom and I said, you know what? We can't travel like we used to. So why not just take the tunnel to Whittier? We did get to see the train too. So if you get to go, it's so cool to experience. And you go through the tunnel, and then it's about, like you said, 2.5 miles to get through there. And when you finally make it to the other side, it is a very small town, but it's really gorgeous because it does have this one huge waterfall when you go to the back behind the buildings where everybody lives, and that's really pretty to look at. They had another little waterfall as well that we enjoyed, and at the time we went there was in August, and we got to see some salmon kind of swimming upriver. Yeah, there's one of the waterfalls we saw, so it was just really fun, and that was one of the small ones too. So yes, so this photo here, we got to see some salmon swimming upriver, and it's just an experience to be in Whittier. And even though it's so small, I feel like there's so much that's there and so many things that you can do, and you can really get a little piece of Alaska from Whittier. And like Kelly was explaining earlier, the rest of the cities in Alaska really are not like Whittier, and Whittier is very unique and very small. And it's just, I don't know, for me, it's an experience to go there. It's almost like Disneyland in the sense that you're going through this tunnel and you're exploring. So especially if you have kids and you actually get an opportunity to visit Whittier at some point in the future, I highly suggest it. And every time we've gone, we've just had a blast.
Thank you, lady. Chili, you want to come in?
I have to ask a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we got this tunnel. Now,
Yes.
I'm fascinated with this tunnel, and the trains go through it, and cars go through it, and then a half hour later, cars come out. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you folks up there in Alaska, you have some wildlife around, like moose and bears, and I mean, well, what happens if a moose decides how I'm going through the tunnel too?
Well, that's actually a really good question. So in the winter, the tunnel doors close. So they close between openings, and in the winter, when it gets below 32 degrees, the tunnel doors close, and the tunnel is open for 15 minutes. So say if you wanted to come into Whittier, you'd come in on the 8:30 tunnel. It's open from 8:30 to 8:45. Well, in the winter, it only opens at 8:40, and then the doors open, one, to keep the temperature of the tunnel at about 45 degrees, and two, to keep wild animals out. So we have had moose in the tunnel, and they've just had to kind of go in from either side and push them out. Yeah.
Wow, that's a wonderful question, Chili. I have to bring Melissa in now. Melissa, you have lived in Alaska.
Yes.
And please tell us about Alaska, and please tell us about how we can all help.
There's no place on earth like Alaska. I honestly thought I was going to spend the rest of my life there. It is such a beautiful place, but I must admit I have not been to Whittier. I lived in Juneau and I spent the summer in Skagway once. But it's the people. The people are just so friendly and so warm and so giving, that like, and they just want to share all about Alaska. Like some places you go and people are quite fatigued about talking about their destination, but not Alaskans. Alaskans will tell you everything and anything about where they live because they're so proud of it. And so, in Whittier, I would imagine the crew, when they get off, you guys would get to know them. And if you've got the 4 ships, then you kind of recognize the faces because usually crew members do the contracts, for the whole season. Yeah,
now, Melissa, you've been crew for many, many years.
Yes.
And tell us about, one of the reasons we're trying to help is that it's not just about now, it's also about this summer. What do you think is realistically going to happen this summer when cruising does resume? And we're lucky to go on a ship and the crew get their jobs back. What's going to happen at the ports, do you think?
Well, I think the crew will be happy to get their jobs back because they need the money, they need to go back to work. And I know that right now, the ships that are preparing to start sailing again, that the crew have been told that there will be no shore leave. That's how it is right now. But now that there's a vaccine, I have no idea what it'll be like in the summer. And I think that you guys in Whittier need to prepare for one way or another, like have plan A, but also have plan B. Maybe you would like to prepare to deliver local food to the ship. But, we as a charity, I say we, because I'm trying to help support the port. What we want to do is help those negotiations with the cruise lines. So we want to be able to communicate with the cruise line and let them know through your community what safety precautions are in place, that there is no reason why the crew can't go ashore. The crew have all been tested. They may have also all been vaccinated. The same with the staff members. So what's the situation in Whittier? Have you got, so we want to communicate back and forth so that we can, not put pressure, but really communicate with the cruise line and the tourist boards and just say, look, it is safe for the crew to go ashore. The crew need that leave because I know, Kelly, when I was a crew member, my embarkation day was precious to me. I was so exhausted and I needed to get off the ship. I needed to get away from the ship food, the crew food anyway. And that local connection, and I was on my Wi-Fi talking to all my family. And I know that so many crew members have that opportunity in your cafe in Whittier, right?
Is Kelly still there? Was Kelly frozen?
She's very still. She's in a meditative state.
Oh,
I think Kelly might have frozen up.
I think the Buddha has got
I do know it's cold. I know
I
it's
know.
cold there. Yeah, but I didn't know it's that cold that you actually freeze.
That's a good face. So, like, normally when it freezes on me, it's
Well, I'm hoping, hopefully Kelly will come back, you know, and we're going to carry on. But I'm going to come to you, John, obviously next as well. Last but not least, and please, we need donations. We can't do this unless you help. $10, just $10 would be fantastic. Please, John. I was going to ask you if you've got any questions for Kelly, but she's gone. Please, can you explain how they can donate first of all, and anything you want to say?
Well, yes, of course. There's links everywhere on our different Facebook and other pages, or supportaport.com. Easy to spell, no punctuation, no dashes or anything. Supportaport.com, and your link is there, and you just fill out a few little lines, and it will take you there. Do know that it converts your pounds or euros. I don't suppose there's any marks around anymore, are there? But it converts whatever money that you're in anywhere in the world to dollars. Because we are set up in the United States, and we get it. And when we get about $100 for any one port, then we make arrangements. And for instance, in Whittier, we kind of have our direction already. Did we get her back? 1, 2, 3, 4. There we are.
We have
Kelly's
Kelly
here.
back.
That's all right.
Hi, Kelly.
And when we get that chunk, then we make arrangements with the port, and it's not going to go to some government entity in the port. You know, we will find that place there, so it goes directly to the support, whether it's the food bank, because they always need things that they can't buy or they don't get donated to them. They get government surplus. You know, here in my hometown, lots of things came in that were handed out through a couple of different churches. But they don't include all of the things that people need that just need to be purchased separately through the food banks or for kids for Christmas. And probably the kids organization there, the school, knows that there's a particular family that has just needs a need more than others. And that's what our idea is to find the need and get it to them directly, you know, without talking about need here. Ace has got a need here. There he goes.
Yeah,
so
it is.
To find that need, you get it directly from the donor. You guys that are listening, we're just a conduit. You know, we're not in business. We don't have any big buildings. We don't own a jet. Love to own a jet, but we don't own a jet. We don't even have an airplane. We don't even have a rubber band that you wrap up with your finger and send around the room. You know, we all have jobs. Yeah. We all had the equipment. We didn't buy any equipment. We just had to do the legal paperwork that the government requires for us to do this. And we're in business. And we're in business to do this because we have hearts. And you can see all the people that are with us today have hearts. And that's what we want to do, is we want to support the people that in some way have been so kind to us that you don't even see when you're on your cruise. Because they're, like you talk about, the longshoremen that were just there to make the boat come in and dock. And it's all so smooth. You know, you don't even hardly feel when the ship leaves or arrives at a dock. You better not feel when the ship arrives at the dock. But, you know, these are jobs that take a lot of people to make our $600 a week cruise go so smoothly. Yeah. And none of these people are working right now. And even when the ships do come back in, like you talk about, things are going to be different. The folks can't get off the ship. The folks that were normally welcoming people who didn't want to do the $400 or $500 train ride across Alaska, they wanted to get off, go to the Lazy Otter Cafe, use the internet, have some of the local cuisine or whatever the unique drink is in Whittier, or just fish salmon off the dock, whatever's available there. They can't do that because they got to stay in the bubble. So all the people providing those services, they're just out of luck. Yes, cruising may have started, but the machine is not running yet. And that's almost harder when the cruising has started, but the machine is not running yet. And we don't know when that's going to happen. There's all these talk about vaccines and stuff, but that's just talk yet. And that's going to be talk for a while. I'm happy about it. I mean, it's coming. The news is good. We should be happy, but we got a ways to go here. And folks are way behind. when you're talking about a little business that, I'm sorry, I'm rambling on, don't mean to, but we're 30 minutes, we're not on the boat yet. But you're talking about people who are 50% down in their little business. It takes a long time to make up 50%. It doesn't just happen in a couple of months.
Yeah.
And that's the end of my diatribe, but
it does. And what I'm going to do, we've got quite a few comments. I've got some photographs that Kelly has sent so we can see this incredible town, Whittier. But just as we're going to go along, we can't do this without the cruising community helping. And if you don't donate, we can't do anything. So please, if you are watching, please donate via our website, supportaport.com, or like our page, Support a Port. And there's a link, a pinned link that you click to go straight to our website. Any funds will help. It really will. And we're going to make sure we get them to the right people. And we're talking about the food bank, and we're talking about the kids that are there before Christmas. If we can do that, that'll be wonderful. So please, cruising community, please help us. You can donate to any port you want. You don't have to do Whittier. You can name any port you want. But if you can do Whittier to start with, that'll be wonderful. I'm going to go through a few.
I went this morning and I donated, and the process was very easy and it was very smooth. So if anybody's wondering about, is it going to be complicated or anything? Nope. If you've ever ordered anything online, this process is very similar and it's really easy to work through. So you'll be able to get through it.
There we go. We have a donation already for Whittier, and I'm going to donate. I'm going to donate something as well.
I already did.
We're going to donate. We are going to donate to Whittier, and we're going to try to get it to the right people. So please donate. Yeah. Jack, greetings from Conroe, Texas, USA, where it's sunny. We're so jealous, Jack.
Oh,
we really are.
Hey, Jack, $1 per degree, Jack. $1 per degree.
Yeah. Hi, everyone from Jackie. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
Katie. Hi, everyone. Hi, Katie. Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Jacksonville, Florida. I so wish.
Nice.
Emily's in New York. Hi, Emily. I thought it was snowing. I saw a photograph from Emily earlier. I thought it was from New York. It wasn't. It's from you, lady in Alaska. Yeah. Katie, so sad. But yeah, absolutely. Emily's, hi, lady. I'm glad you have found the 3 Amigos. Talking of Sunny.
Hey, Sunny.
Yeah, you're unlucky, lady, finding us. Sunny, hi from Mississippi. Hi, Sunny. Sunny made a wonderful donation as well for us before, which is fantastic. So I want to go through some of these wonderful photographs that you have sent, Kelly. And you can please talk about it. First of all, we are going to start with the wonderful Lazy Otter Cafe. Please tell us about your cafe.
Well, we're right on the harbor. We operate 4 boats doing water taxi, custom sightseeing, kayaking, and we have our little cafe here. It serves as a charter office and cafe, kind of this right on the harbor, right next to the east ramp, where people from Anchorage will bring their boats and launch their boats. We are right on the edge of western Prince William Sound. Prince William Sound is the largest concentration of tidewater glaciers is right here. An hour away, you can be sitting at the face of a tidewater glacier. Beautiful, calm, protected waters in Prince William Sound. Wonderful wildlife. So everybody has their favorite place in Alaska, but by far, Prince William Sound has our heart.
And as you said, the crew love to come in and use the internet and drink hot chocolate and have lunch and everything like that. Tell us about this, please.
This is a boardwalk just along the harbor. A lot of boats here, and a lot of, like I said, a lot of people from Anchorage and the Mat-Su Valley, which is just about an hour to an hour and a half away from Whittier, will keep their boats here because it is the closest port and it's calm waters, good fishing, good shrimping, good lots of cool beaches to explore, and good kayaking.
Wow. And family.
That's my family. So this is at the end of Emerald Cove, and this is less than a mile drive along this beautiful road to this viewpoint, and then it accesses a trail. We have amazing trails in Whittier of all levels, from easy to a little bit more advanced. So spectacular trails. This is just you drive to this point. Even if you don't want to hike, you can drive here and get this beautiful view that's pretty much out my window here, but it's snowing, so you can't see it. There's our lovely the harbor. You can see the harbor front. That's where all the shops and stores are. As you look towards the left end of this picture, you'll see the Inn at Whittier, which is a hotel, and right past that looks like a big Quonset hut. That is the cruise ship terminal. Very deep water here, spectacular views. Right here, mountains surround you, 3,000 feet, waterfalls, birds, pretty amazing. This is the Portage Pass Trail. So this starts from Whittier and goes up. And from this viewpoint, you get to see Portage Glacier on the other side of the mountains. And looking back the other way, you would look over Whittier and what we call Passage Canal, which is the waterway into Whittier. And Alaska Railroad. So that's the tunnel entrance that you would come out of. You can either drive or you can access the get here via the Alaska Railroad. Most of our cruise passengers come via the Alaska Railroad. Just fireweed is this is probably right at mid-July, right at the peak of the summer. Beautiful fireweed, just looking over our harbor, right out my back door.
And these wonderful people here.
Yeah, this is our staff, and with all the COVID things going on, we wanted just to make a little light of the situation, but to let everybody know that we were COVID ready. And most of all, loved these shirts that say, "Be kind." Such a tough time for everybody. Everybody's trying to figure it out. Everybody's trying to work through it. I always feel like between 0 and 100, people are at different levels, right? Are you at 50 or are you at 95? So this is just our staff, and we're just trying to remind people to be kind, but we're also ready.
Yeah, and these are some of the wonderful people we can help. What we're trying to do, it's about people. Support is about helping people, and that's what we're really trying to do. Lady, would you like to come in?
Yeah, so it's just kind of what we've said before. I think we talked about this a little bit last week. I could have been on the other end of things with everything going on with the pandemic. I could have been in a place where, thanks, Jack. Yes, it's hot chocolate in my mug. So I could have been on the other end of things. And I have to think about that constantly, where I am fortunate enough not to have struggled as much as other people have. So when I think about donating to places such as Whittier, it's to help communities, it's to help people, it's just to help in any way, shape, or form that we can. Alaska is a really wonderful place. I really hope that one day you guys can all visit when everything's better. I had sent a photo talking about hiking in Alaska yesterday, where I got snow all the way up to my knee, and it was a lot of fun, and it's just a beautiful place. Like, I'm even with traveling being different, I'm exploring different places that I really hadn't explored as much before, like Seward. But because we weren't on a cruise, we said, you know what, just because we're not on a cruise doesn't mean that we can't visit Whittier. So my mom and I picked up and went to Whittier. She actually did a cruise from Whittier, where she took the train from our home to Whittier. And then she took it all the way to Canada. And she met a crew member on that cruise. And they enjoyed each other so much that when he came to visit Alaska again, and he had some time off, she actually picked him up in Whittier so then she could take him around and show him different places. So that was a story that she was telling me, how it's kind of that connection point. It's your first embarkation day of the cruise. It's the place where you might end your cruise, and it's the little connection point, and you can create really wonderful memories there.
And lady, we have to have a hot chocolate at the Lazy Otter Cafe.
Yeah. I've been doing this. Yes.
Yeah, we have to do it. One day, Kelly, hopefully we can have that hot chocolate in your wonderful cafe. I really look forward to it. Chili.
Folks, I'm just really serious about trying to raise some money to help these lovely folks up there. I love Alaska. And to have a target now, I've got something that, like Pete said, is kind of out there now that we could do to be able to help the food bank, or possibly if we can get enough money together to do something special for the kids before Christmas would be just awesome. I'm hopeful that once cruises start back again next season, that's going to make things better in Alaska, but I'm fearful that we're going to have the bubbles to deal with. And a lot of the folks that we want to help in the ports are still going to have troubles because the people getting off the ships have got to stay in the bubbles for the ship's safety. Yeah. So I think we might be into this for the long haul as the short term, but I'm really excited about it. Again, folks, go to Support a Port, give whatever you can, $5, $10, it would be terrific. We put it all together and we're going to get some money up there in that area before Christmas. That would be awesome.
Melissa.
Yeah, I mean, I have been affected by COVID, but for me, it's a good thing because, now I'm not saying it's a good thing. I mean, for me, I've now started my own business and I'm trying to help the community. So I was so thrilled to meet Pete and the Cruise Amigos and Support a Port, because what I'm trying to do is sell people's products from these different destinations, because I ran shopping programs on cruise ships and it fed into the local economies. Even big jewelry companies, they hired local people. So, and people love to shop ashore. And you can find things in Alaska, the art, the food, the handmade jewelry. Oh my God, I can go on and on. But this all the artwork is phenomenal. I don't know if you have any art galleries in Whittier, but I know that, and that's something I'm trying to do, is help people in local communities with e-commerce, because I know that's a complicated, crowded marketplace. And so that's another thing we're trying to do and develop between us, is to sell people's products from these destinations so people can still shop, people can still have fun and buy really cool things, because no one's traveled on a cruise ship since March. So people are really missing out on all these amazing.
Melissa, I'm interrupting you. I've seen the Lazy Otter, the Lazy Otter mug. I want one of those. Lazy Otter mugs look fantastic.
We should put your mugs on my website.
Yeah, I would. If they were on the website. Yeah, and we could, and you can. That Lazy Otter mugs look fantastic. So sorry to interrupt. So thank you, Melissa. Yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to do. John.
I'm just listening, enjoying it so much, because this is right. And this, we just got to get these opportunities. Melissa's doing it through retail, and that's wonderful, because we got to get these products out, because people can't get, unless you're going to get in your car and drive. And I've driven as far as Fort St. John, and Fort St. John from here is I'm in the little notch up in Minnesota, and from here to Fort St. John is a long, long way. And I'm not even close to Whittier yet. You might know, Kelly, how far Fort St. John is from you, but that's, way up in British Columbia. And it's 300 miles from the southern tip of Alaska. So that's not even, see, I start talking and the cat wakes up. But it's not even getting going yet. And Melissa, yes, it's amazing how our cats are similar, isn't it? Melissa's got two young kitties, looks just like this. But so it's a long way to drive and such a wonderful way to get there by a cruise ship. And we can't do that right now. But to get some products like Melissa is trying to do from all of these outbound places is so neat. It's just so neat. So that's one way to do it. And we're trying to get some money up there this other way. And that's so neat too. Lady is so lucky because she gets to go and kayak, and she's the adventurer. You should have adventurer after your name here on the bottom line, lady, so that people know what and who you are, because you're our resident adventurer here and hitting all these places, and we're going to send you around the world before all this is done. So this is going to be neat.
Melissa has said, are the links available at the moment? I guess they're not quite available. This is so new, isn't it?
Sorry, Nikki. We're just working on it. E-commerce is new to me as well, and it's boy, is it we're getting there. We've got some products on the website. They are little Caribbean pieces of jewelry with like sand dollars and things like that. We're working on an Alaskan jewelry collection. Hopefully that'll be up by the end of next week. And I'm going to talk to Kelly at the end of this show about her mug. We can sell.
but Nikki, you can donate, and we will make sure it gets to the right people with Kelly. So Kelly, I'm going to finish with you. I mean, it's a wonderful town. It's a wonderful place. People know you now. I'm really hoping that cruisers are so generous. The people are so generous. They're going to come in. They're going to come in the Lazy Otter Cafe, and they're going to have their hot chocolate.
Well, we just want you to come to Whittier. And I have to say, when Lady first contacted me, I was like amazed. And then I talked to all of you folks. You certainly suffered, but you're so generous to offer this. And then the message that will go out to this community that the industry supports them. Fishing and tourism are our number one industries here, no doubt. But just the message that tourism supports the people that live there is phenomenal. So just listening to you all and your heart and soul and passion, cannot thank you enough.
I mean, that's just so wonderfully said. I can't really say anything after that. So please, thank you, everybody. We're going to be here every week. We're going to be here every week. We're trying to help people in different ports all around the world. Please donate. Yeah. And as Kelly says, we've shown that we care, and we do care. You know, so please donate, because we can't do anything without you donating. Kelly, thank you so much for coming on today and explaining about your wonderful town. And I really hope that we're able to do something for your wonderful people there. And everybody, thank you again for taking the time for today. And I really hope that one of the shows we'll do down the line will be exactly where we've been able to help Whittier in Alaska. Thank you for watching. All the best, guys. All the best. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.